to call this succession planning for leadership. The struggle is real. If you're a club, if you're a zone, if you're a district, and you are having difficulty finding new leaders to come up into those roles, you're not alone. But there's reasons that we need to replace them, because sometimes we actually shoot ourselves in the foot in that opportunity to find new leaders. We replace our leadership because people get worn out. They're not able to do the job anymore. Their lifestyles are filled up, things are out of date and spinning in the same place. Some things in our lives to remind you why we need to replace leadership. We need to replace leadership because we replace everything that wears out. Our toothbrushes, our light bulbs, our batteries. We are like those things with our ideas, with our energy. So the very first job any club district officer should be thinking about the moment that they're elected, we're talking right now, and you don't even take office until October 1st, is you need to start looking to find your replacement. I want you to consider, if you're looking for your replacement, would you, looking from the outside in, want to replace you? And if the answer is no, then you have to ask yourself why. And if the answer is yes, you have to consider, would everybody else agree? Because if replacing you looks so wonderful, you shouldn't be having a problem. So what's the missing link? What is it that our clubs, our zones, and our districts seem to find so difficult that is causing it to be such a backlag in trying to find replacements and getting people to step up? When an organization loses focus on its mission, the members lose heart. Are we operating based on our mission? That mission of, by providing hope and positive vision, optimists bring out the best in youth, our communities, and ourselves. When becoming more about the steps and not the end result, which should be relatable to our mission, then our volunteers lose heart in what they originally joined your club to take part in. Volunteering then becomes about filling a slot, meeting a need, doing your duty. If things get really out of focus, then serving our clubs and our communities can feel more about serving a leader and not about serving a purpose. So when keeping to the true mission of an Optimist Club and keeping it at the forefront, you help your members to remember what they're doing it for, more about the why and not the what. People join Optimist clubs because they want to bring out the best in kids. The side effects are that they're bringing out the best in their communities and also themselves. Don't lose sight of that. When you lose focus on the mission, volunteers lose heart. Something that I hold near and dear, and I look around at all the successful clubs, the successful districts, the people that you see doing amazing things within the organization, there is one true thing that is true about what happens and why we aren't losing those people. Those people value the relationships they've made within their club. It is right there in our name, Optimists, with a capital O, I like to say. There should be no better, happier, more positive place but to be at your Optimist Club with your members. Yet every group or organization will have toxic people in it. It's what we do with those toxic people that makes a difference. Our members love what we do and why we do it, but they have no use for the politics, drama, and dysfunction that can sometimes come along with it. We lose the best leaders within that problem. If we aren't taking care of the health and the relationships, people with amazing skills, ideas, and time will take their efforts elsewhere to an organization that won't suck them up in drama and turmoil. One of the best things that being an Optimist gives our members is the relationships we make with like-minded, giving people, our fellow members. When that's not available, people don't get personally invested in the club or the organization. They just look for other ways to give back in their community that doesn't involve getting involved with an Optimist Club, that doesn't get involved with having to pay dues. Not sure where to start? Start with yourself and set an example. When there's a disagreement, people need to talk to people they disagree with, not about them. That will change far more than you could ever imagine. Remember that disagreeing can oftentimes bring out an even better idea and a result when done in kindness, with a listening ear, and instead of a judging heart. Relationships within our organization is what binds us together. When we start creating relationships, true relationships, it's those relationships we look back to in times of strife, in times of challenges. And it is because of those relationships that we push through and continue on. Does serving help me and others grow? I want you to ask yourself that. It's amazing how many people can make a connection between volunteering and being extra busy or staring down burnout. When science has proven that volunteering, actually coupled with optimistic attitude, increases one's value on life and adds years to our lives. That being said, what else does being a productive member of our organization bring our members? So many members have never taken on leadership roles in their lives until they were given the opportunity within their Optimist Club. Just look around. You will learn from many of those you look up to, that was their opportunity within our organization that made them a better person. Maybe it was more confidence to speak in front of the audience when they had never done it before. Maybe it was learning stronger organizational skills. Maybe it was meeting new people and stepping out of their shell. For some, skills they've learned as a leader in our organization, this has meant better experience to their present job world. Promotions and advancements that may have never been possible without the confidence found while exploring leadership in a safe environment like an Optimist Club. These skills helped in the workforce, but also in our everyday relationships, from those at home with family to those with everyone we encounter. Whatever it may be, one second here, I need to just switch some screens here. Whatever it may be, when we offer leadership, we offer opportunities to grow and to shine and to become a stronger version of ourselves, because we can offer it in a healthy, supportive environment. Now I need you to also ask yourself, we're looking for that missing link. Some of these things you may already be doing, but somewhere along this chain of questions, there's something that's missing. Hopefully just one thing. If there's more than one, then you need to know to look at what's going on. So, are your members just a means to an end? The end, of course, would be to bring out the best in youth, our communities, and ourselves. But if our members feel like they are simply a number, simply a cog in a wheel, then we've not done them justice. People matter. Our members matter. They need to know and feel like they matter. Nobody likes to feel like they're just being used. But all too often, leadership can get caught up in a list of to-dos, like reports or who's going to do them, that we forget we're dealing with living, breathing, feeling people who need to know they're valued. If our membership just feels like their contribution is only as a means to an end, they won't be willing to step up to be the slave driver later. Current leadership needs to care about the members, encourage members, and listen to members. Ask questions and ask for input. Now, is help offered to others to develop the skills they need? I love that you were just talking about the learning management system. Most of our membership have already come to us with their own sets of skills of some kind. Keep in mind that just because they haven't been an actual Optimist Club president in the past doesn't mean they haven't developed the same skills required, just in a different setting than an Optimist Club or an Optimist district. Also remember, maybe the role that you want to put them to take on requires some skills that are outside of their toolbox, outside of their skill set. Some of these things don't come naturally, but they still come by the skills with some support. With the right intentions and some willingness, Anything is possible. Are you mentoring new leaders? Offering them the opportunity to learn the role before they're actually responsible for the role would be a great start. I'll give you an example. The first time and the only time I was a district conference chair, and this was part of my job in my past, so it wasn't a big deal, I made sure that I brought on a helper, someone that would be with me once I've signed those contracts, helping me organize the desk, because that was the person I was going to suggest to the next governor to be the next district conference chair. As a result, she wasn't surprised what the job entailed. She wasn't surprised on how much work it was going to take, and she was already somewhat trained for the job. Are you mentoring your future leaders? Remember that the district is there to support training as well. Get someone respected to help groom someone for a new role. To be organized or to lose the organized. And if you are a highly organized person, you are going to see a disorganized leader in one of two lights. You're either going to want to take over and clean that stuff up, or you're going to say, no way, this is a mess. I don't want anything to do with it. All too often, those that are not terribly organized don't realize that they will drive people away. When you're asking someone to join your team, if you're an unorganized leader, they will see the invite as an extra job when they have to pick up the balls that are constantly being dropped due to your disorganization. If you're not organized, you'll lose those who are really good at it. The more organized you are with your time, preparation, delegation, the more the volunteers will be able to do their job. Not to mention, you are modeling what you're asking others to do one day. If things are always being run in a disorganized fashion, then an organized person will only see chaos. They will not be eager to take over chaos. Will this be a life sentence? Think about this. I've gone into many clubs, many districts, and I've heard lieutenant governors and I've heard club presidents say, I was just getting the hang of it. I wanted to do it again. When asking someone to take on a position, they likely want to do it at the level of commitment you're asking of them. They likely want to know the level of commitment you're asking of them. If you've gotten yourself into the rut that hasn't changed the position for a number of years, imagine what this looks like to a new member. If taking on club president or lieutenant governor seems to have traditionally lasted multiple years, then maybe some members won't feel they have that long to give. So instead of giving the 1-year term, they give you no years. Not everyone's lifestyle will allow for a long-term commitment. New families, new jobs, retirement, traveling, all these things make looking at years in advance difficult for many. When succession planning takes place, there's a feeling of security. This won't be a life sentence. Imagine that you have always had the same president for the last 5 years. A new member is going to assume that that's going to happen to them. And so they're not going to take it. But if they were guaranteed that there was someone coming up behind them and it was a 1-year sentence or 1-year term, then they might more likely say yes. You need to understand that all of these challenges are across not just the Optimist organization, but every organization that's looking for new leaders. And so we have to identify, where's our missing link? What are we doing wrong? What is the message we're giving out that we don't recognize that's being transmitted and not what we actually want people to hear? So ask yourself, are you making it look like a life sentence? Are you organized? Are you offering the help that people need to get the job done well? Are you making sure your members don't just feel like they're a means to an end? Are you ensuring that relationships are solid and comforting and that you offer a safe environment? Are you making sure that you're operating based on our mission statement? By providing hope and positive vision, Optimists will bring out the best in youth, our communities, and ourselves. Struggle is real. Remember, if standing on the outside looking in, Would you want to replace you?